The British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, the first leader of a G7 nation to confirm that he has COVID-19. Johnson, earlier this month, was really downplaying the threat from the coronavirus and was taking part in talks just yesterday with G20 leaders. Of course, it was a video conference, that extraordinary meeting that we covered yesterday. But Dominic Velitis is going to bring us all the details. He's in London for us today with that breaking headline that Boris Johnson himself now in self-isolation, Dom, at 10 Downing.
Yeah, that's right, Heather. Obviously, a surprise announcement, a worrying announcement as well. Boris Johnson released a short video earlier today on Twitter to confirm that he had contracted coronavirus. Let's go straight to that video now, Heather, and take a listen. Here he is.
Hi folks, I want to bring you up to speed with something that's happening today, which is that I've developed mild symptoms of the coronavirus, that's to say a temperature and a persistent cough. And on the advice of the Chief Medical Officer, I've taken a test that has come out positive. So I am working from home, I'm self-isolating, and that's entirely the right thing to do.
So Boris Johnson there, Heather, obviously confirming that he has contracted coronavirus. I must say he did seem to be in quite good spirits in that video. He went on to talk about last night's tribute here in Britain to NHS workers. This was an event which saw tens of thousands of Brits across the country taking to their balconies, their doorsteps and so on to applaud NHS workers for their efforts in combating the pandemic, and that is something that he himself took part in last night. But he also went on in that video message, Heather, to pay tribute to the emergency services and, of course, the thousands of people here in the UK who have volunteered for to help out with the NHS. But this announcement, as I say, was unexpected. It is worrying. It raises several questions, of course, not least of all what it means for the British government's handling of this crisis. Now, Boris Johnson says that he will remain in charge, that he will continue to lead the UK government response via video link. But you have to ask, Heather, just how effective will that be? Another question concerns his close colleagues, the senior government ministers. Now, we don't really know what measures have been in place to prevent the spread of virus among that select group of ministers. But that raises a question, will the entire cabinet now have to be tested for coronavirus? And what happens if some of those ministers test positive as well? What does that mean for the UK government's response? So lots of questions in need of lots of answers there. Another key one, of course, Heather, is that Boris Johnson, we know, visited with the Queen back on March 11th. That has since been confirmed. So are there any implications for Her Majesty the Queen as well? That will be another question that will be asked today, Heather.
Dominic, thank you very much. Dominic Velitis. There are in the UK about 11,600 cases of coronavirus. Prince Charles, we know, and now Boris Johnson.